With just days before DNF Duel's release, I found it to be the perfect time to personally share why I think that this fighting game in particular will be great. Or I guess just overall talk about why it will be good. Hopefully this video doesn't age poorly in any manner, because despite all the hate for this game, I truly believe that DNF Duel will be an amazing game. Now on to the question of today's video. Will DNF Duel be good? And the answer to that is probably. Or at least I hope so. In all honesty, it seems to be an unpopular opinion among the FGC to actually like this game. Now of course, this isn't some perfect godsend, it definitely has its fans, but this isn't the first time we've seen a fighting game receive this kind of feedback. Though throughout my personal experience with DNF Duel, it was overall extremely fun. It's been a while since I lost track of time playing a game and I realized that I stayed until 5 in the morning. This doesn't mean the game didn't have its issues though, and of course, it wasn't horrible in any ways, so let's go over the pros and cons and my personal thoughts about the beta. Starting with the pros, this game actually has all the standards checked off for a fighting game. It included rollback netcode, a diverse roster, great entry to those who are looking to get into fighting games, and no, this doesn't mean the game is necessarily easy, devs who care, and art style, but that comes down to personal preference. This game having rollback netcode is such an important thing for this game, like it's absolutely huge, because netcode is something that can make or break a community. Just take Grand Blue for example. And I can't stress this enough, but my matches were extremely smooth, and despite the horrible matchmaking during the beta, I was actually able to enjoy the matches. It's also great that we have such a diverse roster of characters who play completely different. It gave each match a refreshing feel. Yeah, it's still too early to say, but from experience, it didn't feel like any character on the roster was lacking the ability to put up a great fight. Regardless of that fact though, some characters did seem stronger than others, and there were of course bad matchups, but that's just how fighting games are played. With such a diverse roster though, it's actually a great entry for those who want to give fighting games a shot. This doesn't mean the game is necessarily easy though, because at the end of the day, it's still a fighting game. For those who are just starting the game, it offers one button inputs similar to Smash, like forward, down, up, and back, but at the sacrifice of lower MP regen. And for those who don't know, MP is like your bar in order to do supers like that, kind of like in Guilty Gear's Tension. If you were to do the motion input though, your MP would come back a lot faster. And it actually helps a lot that the devs are showing that they care for this game. They've done 2 betas so far and released surveys in order to improve the game, and that's pretty good. And if this game has a horrible launch, I feel like the game's going to be in good hands and the devs would put their best foot forward to try to fix it. Last thing I want to add in is that the graphics and art style are completely beautiful, but that all comes down to personal preference. Aside from that though, let's move on to the cons of the game. Now, just a quick heads up. The cons are based off of the beta alone, and the final product could have eliminated these issues, so in other words, this is more of a wish list of things that I think that should be fixed. So going over the main cons, they're regional pricing, lobbies, and matchmaking. But some of the in-game cons are lack of defensive options, speed of some characters, and throw techs. The in-game cons are just a wish list, so keep that in mind, but the biggest problem with this game is actually its regional pricing. There should be a tweet up on the screen right now, and this guy in Argentina, if you were to convert his currency to USD, he would actually have to pay $85 for the game, and I don't think that's like really worth it for any fighting game out there. So I'm just throwing that out there, that this regional pricing, if they don't fix it, it can kill the game on launch in certain areas. Also, if you played any other ArcSys games, you'll know that the lobbies aren't necessarily the best, but I don't think it can get any worse than Strive, so it's too late for the game at this point though to fix something like this, but I hope moving forward we will get simple rooms with better matchmaking connection. That actually leads me right into my next topic. The matchmaking in the beta was absolute hell, but I'm sure it will be fixed. My friend and I would struggle to get in some matches and sit there for like 10 to 15 minutes. It could have been the servers, like people filling it up because of how many people actually try to play the game, but hopefully when the game drops this won't be an issue. Now just some wishlist things like the in-game cons. I honestly hope they increase the defensive options within the game, because once you're being pressured, there's very little things you can do, and it doesn't take too much to break someone's guard. Like take Inquisitor. She just keeps throwing out her fire wheel and you can't really do crap against it. And the speed of some characters can also be slightly adjusted, but I can live with that being the way it is since it's really ground-based footsies. And that's another thing actually. I saw people complain about the big normals in this game, but you really just gotta play the ground-based footsies in the neutral for what it is. Though one thing that annoyed me was when you throw tech a throw, you don't go very far away from your opponent, and it like causes a scramble situation in the neutral. Like you can just mash grab again right after, or just throw out whoever wins, just has the faster jab. And it was honestly pretty annoying. But aside from that, that's all for the cons. Overall, I believe that DNF Duel will actually be a good game, and I hope one of your takeaways from this is to go and form your own opinion. I had a lot of fun during the beta, and I can't wait for this game to drop. So, anyways, I hope you have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are. I'll definitely be uploading some DNF Duel videos. I'm going to be entering some tournaments, so stay tuned for that on the channel. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.